Today, we're diving into the world of the First World War through the lens of gaming. This conflict, leaving an indelible mark on history, has found its reflection in the realm of video games. Valiant Hearts. The Great War is a game that has attracted attention with its unusual approach to the theme of World War I. Instead of focusing on military battles, the game centers around human stories and emotions, attempting to convey the tragedy and inhumanity of the conflict through the personal fates of its characters. One of the positive aspects of the game is its visual style, hand-drawn in an art style that gives the game a unique and memorable appearance. However, this style may not be to everyone's taste. The gameplay is a combination of puzzles, platforming, and adventure gaming. Some players may enjoy this variety, while others may find certain gameplay moments monotonous or lacking in diversity. The historical accuracy of the game evokes mixed feelings. While Valiant Hearts tries to convey the atmosphere of the time and place, some aspects of the historical context may be simplified or altered for the sake of gameplay. The game's story tells of various characters whose lives intertwine during the war. These stories have the potential to be emotionally impactful, although some players may feel that the characters are not always developed deeply enough. Verdun is a first-person shooter game developed by M2H and Black Mill Games, released in 2015 year. It takes place during World War I and focuses specifically on the Battle of Verdun, one of the longest and most brutal battles of the war. One of the standout features of Verdun is its commitment to historical accuracy. The developers have made a concerted effort to recreate the battlefield's weapons and uniforms of the era as faithfully as possible. This attention to detail helps to immerse players in the experience and provides a sense of authenticity to the gameplay. The game offers a variety of different game modes, including frontlines, rifle deathmatch, attrition warfare, and squad defense. Each mode offers a unique gameplay experience, from intense trench warfare to frantic close-quarters combat. In terms of gameplay, places a strong emphasis on teamwork and tactical coordination. Players must work together to capture and defend objectives, and communication is key to success on the battlefield. Visually, Verdun is impressive, with detailed environments and character models that help to bring the horrors of World War I to life. Tannenberg focuses on the Eastern Front, specifically the Battle of Tannenberg. Similar to Verdun, Tannenberg places a strong emphasis on historical accuracy. The developers have meticulously recreated the battlefields, uniforms, and weapons of the era, providing players with an authentic and immersive experience of World War I combat on the Eastern Front. The gameplay in Tannenberg is similar to that of Verdun, with a focus on teamwork and tactical coordination. Players must work together to capture and defend objectives across the sprawling landscapes of Eastern Europe, utilizing realistic weapon handling and ballistics to gain the upper hand on the battlefield. One of the distinguishing features of Tannenberg is its expanded scope compared to Verdun. The game features larger maps and more open environments, allowing for a greater sense of scale and strategic depth. Like Verdun, Tannenberg has a steep learning curve, and new players may find it challenging to master the game's realistic mechanics and tactics. However, for those willing to put in the time and effort, Tannenberg offers a rewarding and immersive World War I gaming experience. Isonzo, released in 2021. Similar to its predecessors Verdun and Tannenberg, Isonzo strives for historical accuracy in its depiction of the conflict. Players are immersed in the challenging terrain of the Italian front, where they must navigate through rugged mountains, trenches, and fortifications, while engaging in intense combat against enemy forces. One of the notable features of Isonzo is its dynamic weather system, which can dramatically impact gameplay. Players must contend with changing weather conditions, including rain, fog, and snow, which can affect visibility, movement, and combat tactics on the battlefield. Overall, Isonzo is a worthy addition to the series of World War I shooters developed by M2H and Black Mill Games. Sprocket is an engaging game that allows players to create and customize their own tanks using the built-in editor. This editor enables players to fine-tune every aspect of their tanks, from speed and firepower to crew composition and weight. The ability to create unique machines with various characteristics and test them in combat situations is one of the game's main attractions. Graphically, the game is at an acceptable level, with soft shadows and detailed elements. However, some players may notice the absence of water particles, which could leave some room for improvement. One of the highlights of the game is its physics model, which takes into account the weight of the tank, trajectory of projectiles, and behavior of the suspension. This adds a sense of realism and dynamism to the combat scenes. However, the game also has its drawbacks. For instance, technical issues such as numerous bugs, texture glitches, and other shortcomings may diminish the enjoyment of the game. Additionally, limitations in the tank editor and a lack of mission variety could also have a negative impact on the overall experience. Overall, Sprocket shows promise but requires further refinement and enhancements, addressing technical issues, expanding the capabilities of the editor, and adding more diverse content could make it more appealing to a wider audience of players. Amnesia. The bunker players assume the role of Henri Clémence, a French soldier during World War I, navigating trenches amidst a nocturnal battle. Illuminated by flashes of explosions and machine gun fire, Henri finds himself engaging enemy soldiers. A moment of respite is shattered when he encounters a wounded comrade and is caught in enemy fire. Awakening in a hospital bed, Henri finds himself disoriented, unsure of how much time has passed. The bunker appears deserted, but it's a deceptive calm. Through exploration, resource management, and encounters with a terrifying creature, players must navigate the bunker's depths to survive. The game seamlessly blends horror, survival, and exploration, encouraging players to experiment with different strategies. Rise of Flight. The first Great Air War is a combat flight simulation game developed by the Russian studio 777 Studios and released in 2009. It focuses on aerial combat during World War I and is known for its attention to detail, historical accuracy, and realistic flight mechanics. In Rise of Flight, players have the opportunity to pilot a variety of authentic aircraft from the World War I era, including famous planes such as the Fokker Doctor I, Sopwith Camel, and Albatros Diva. The game features meticulously recreated cockpits, flight models, and weapon systems, providing players with an immersive and authentic flying experience. The gameplay in Rise of Flight revolves around aerial dogfights, reconnaissance missions, bombing runs, and other scenarios inspired by historical events from World War I. Players can engage in single-player campaigns, multiplayer matches, or create custom missions. One of the highlights of Rise of Fly is its realistic flight physics and damage modeling. Pilots must contend with factors such as wind, turbulence, and engine stress, making each flight feel challenging and dynamic. Additionally, the game accurately simulates the effects of damage on aircraft performance, requiring players to use strategy and skill to survive encounters with enemy planes. Darkest Hour. A Hearts of Iron game is a grand strategy game developed by independent studio Darkest Hour team and published by Paradox Interactive. It was released in 2011 as a standalone expansion for the critically acclaimed Hearts of Iron 2. In Darkest Hour, players take control of a nation during World War with the goal of leading their chosen country to victory. The game offers a deep and complex strategic experience, allowing players to manage every aspect of their nation's economy, military, diplomacy, and research. One of the key features of Darkest Hour is its historical accuracy and attention to detail. The game includes a vast array of historical events, decisions, and scenarios. Darkest Hour also offers extensive modding capabilities, allowing players to create and share their own custom scenarios, events, and game mechanics. This has led to a vibrant modding community that continues to support and expand the game years after its release. Visually, Darkest Hour is relatively simple compared to more modern strategy games, with a top-down map view and basic 2D graphics. However, the game's depth and complexity lie in its gameplay mechanics and strategic depth rather than its visual presentation. Toy Soldiers is a tower defense and action strategy video game series developed by Signal Studios. In Toy Soldiers, players take on the role of a commander defending a toy box from enemy forces using miniature toy soldiers and vehicles. The game features a unique premise where the battlefield is set in a child's playroom, with toy soldiers and vehicles representing the units in the game. Gameplay typically involves placing various types of toy soldiers, such as infantry, artillery, and tanks, along the enemy's path to stop their advance. Players can also take control of individual units to directly engage with enemy forces or use special abilities to turn the tide of battle. Visually, Toy Soldiers features a charming and nostalgic art style that captures the feeling of playing with toy soldiers in a real-world playroom. The game's environments are filled with colorful and detailed toy models, creating a whimsical and immersive atmosphere. Iron Harvest is a real-time strategy game developed by King Art Games and published by Deep Silver. Released in September 2020, the game is set in an alternate history version of the 1920th, shortly after the end of World War I. It is inspired by the diesel punk aesthetic, featuring diesel-powered mechs and a richly detailed world. In Iron Harvest, players control one of three factions: the Polania Republic, the Soviet Union, or the Saxony Empire. Each faction has its own unique units, heroes, and playstyle, offering diverse strategic options. Players must manage resources, build bases, and deploy units to outmaneuver and defeat their opponents in tactical battles across a variety of maps. One of the standout features of Iron Harvest is its emphasis on cover and positioning. Players can use terrain features and structures to provide cover for their units, making strategic use of the environment crucial for success in battles. Additionally, the game features destructible environments, allowing players to demolish buildings and create new pathways or obstacles on the battlefield. Iron Harvest also boasts a compelling single-player campaign that follows the stories of multiple characters from different factions as they navigate the aftermath of the Great War. In addition to the single-player campaign, Iron Harvest offers multiplayer modes, including traditional skirmishes and ranked matches, allowing players to test their skills against others from around the world. The game also features a robust map editor, allowing players to create and share their own custom maps and scenarios with the community.